Here we are at the border getting into Romania, so it's not a long line. And then I think we're about an hour away from the city center. We're coming into the city.
Bucharest.
I don't know how much, maybe 5 miles, I think, from where we're staying, so we are almost there.
I just got to the apartment in Bucharest after a challenging game of find the parking lot. We finally did, and pleasantly surprised by our apartment. Here we are. Come in, this is the kitchen. Here's the sitting area and bed, one bed. Little breakfast area. Back here is the toilet, bathroom, shower. Come around, and the master bedroom. Looks nice and cozy, brick wall. I think it'll be crowded in a little while. This river goes from downtown Bucharest to the Danube River. This was built during the communist era, these buildings. Today we're doing a bike tour, riding around, and they've got a nice walking path slash biking path that we're riding on. These fountains were put in by the communists, and they were just restored in the last couple of years. Each night they have a fountain show and a big one on the weekends. You can see the advertising on top of the buildings. There's the shopping mall. This was their version of the Champs-Élysées. And all the way at the end, you could see the big government building, the biggest building in the world.
I'm gonna video this too.
Well, this Alexander Guza from 1859 to 1866 was a good leader, and he promoted education, promoted no more prosecution for the gypsies. The gypsies originated from India and Pakistan and went down around Persia when the Ottoman Empire was in control, and they were as slaves, and they were slaves in Western Europe as well up to 1920, and then but this leader, when he came in 1859,
Abolished slavery.
He abolished slavery. He did not want any persecution for the gypsies. Therefore, a lot of the gypsies all over Europe and the Middle East decided to come up to Romania, and they are still here today. And you can tell, but they're a little darker in skin, and actually they're squatters. They live in homes that were, when the communists were in control, they took the homes away from the people, and the people did not claim them after a period of time when communism fell. So they're actually squatters in several neighborhoods around Romania. And they have the largest population in Europe. But there are gypsies over in Portugal and Spain that we saw in Portugal, remember, that went to South America many of years ago as slaves because the South Americans could not afford to buy black.
This church was built in the 1700s and was moved 30 feet by the Communist Party. They had demolished a bunch of other churches in the area, but they moved this one 30 feet and also this building as well in order to make room for another building, which we're going to go see next.
In order for the people to better understand different history.
So this is the end of the road where the Champs-Élysées of Romania was built by Nicolae Ceaușescu, and the church that we were just in had to be moved to make room for these buildings to be built. And then here's the biggest building. This is the new Parliament building, the biggest, heaviest building in the world. And on the left side, this is where the church was. They had to move it 30 feet to make these buildings, room for these. the city bus tour. Halfway through it. It's stop number 8 of 14. We just went through this roundabout. Look at that interesting piece of art in the middle. 61 degrees. It's a beautiful day. Leaves are starting to change. Came up this boulevard. They have their own version of the Arc de Triomphe. French influence. It's nice, long, tree-lined boulevard with a little bit of traffic. Here's how a roundabout's supposed to work. It's a big intersection here. Balcony where Ceaușescu made his speech with his wife and tried to convince the people to back him after some people revolted in another town, but it failed for him. He was caught 3 days later on the 25th of December 1989. After 5 minutes after he had a 3-day trial, he and his wife were executed. This is the 4th one of these we've passed on this road, along with 18-wheelers. So apparently horses and buggies are still common transportation. Thank you.